Thanks for watching this week's Class Nugget, where we will recap just some of what we covered in last week's coaching sessions. Here are my notes from the conversations that I have with Bill. There's more than one here. Looks like pages from the diary of a madman. So we're going to just try to pull together some of the themes and some of the key points that we covered in the last week or so. Our theme from the past few weeks has been periodically pushing out of the comfort zone, as you all know. And we started our groups this week with the following slide. A study which concluded that increasing your competency in any skill will bring about discomfort and even stress in the moment, but with a payoff after the fact, with people reporting feeling happier and more satisfied when they looked back at the experience. Greater satisfaction having tolerated the discomfort and worked through the stress. A sense of accomplishment, that's the payoff. And when we say tolerating stress or discomfort, it could be as simple as dealing with the, I don't want to do this right now. Or even the more sensible sounding, I'd rather not do this. Puts a little positive shine on saying no. Now, it may be obvious, but tolerating these things, it doesn't mean that they go away. It means that you actually get better at tolerating them over time. So here's where I quote Robin from our Tuesday Phase 1 session with 3 simple words that she shared in the group. We push through. We push through. It's really a simple statement of acceptance. We push through the challenges and the tough decisions, and we push through the discomforts because that's what it takes to achieve results. So here's an example of this. Gaitha from our Friday 8 a.m. session. Gaitha has finally surpassed 3,000 calories in physical activity. And how she's done that is by tolerating 3 separate bouts of physical activity every day. This is how you push through, Gaitha. So great. This is how we all push through, by tolerating the things that we'd rather not do in the moment. And hey, you know what, Gaitha? Right now, I can actually hear several members from your old Phase 1 group clapping, the Tuesday night group, with Ann and Bruce leading the charge. So again, well done. Let's keep it up. Oh, and by the way, when we push through the hard choices and we have a greater sense of accomplishment, it can actually support you to make other hard choices as well. Gaitha shared with the group that after coming in from one of those walks and facing down a lot of other choices in the refrigerator, she chose cherries as her post-workout snack. So again, well done. Now in that same group, Margaret committed to pushing through discomfort in her own way by committing to water aerobics this week. She's never done this before, and she shared that she's a little more than uncomfortable at the thought of it. So good luck, Margaret. And you can actually consider this shout out in our class recap as your velvet glove accountability for the week. That's Bill's term. Now, when we talk about this concept of increasing our tolerance to the momentary stressors that come along with making a healthier choice, again, in the moment, there are lots of ways to describe that. Here's Gwen's quote. You have to become more comfortable with the uncomfortable. We want instantaneous results, but that's just not how it works. Now, real quick here, a clarification on the quote that we've been using from Dr. Ed in the past couple of weeks, who gently corrected us with a small but important change. Changing his quote, which we've been sharing as, it's important that we do hard things. We're not going to be satisfied with our weight unless we do hard things. And we're changing that to, thank you, Ed, we're not going to be satisfied with our health unless we do hard things. So we're very happy to make that change, given that weight is just one aspect of health. It's an important one, but it's one of many different aspects of health that are positively affected with the lifestyle changes you're making. So thanks again, Ed, for that. And with this correction, I think that serves as a nice transition to the fact that in some of our coaching sessions this week, the conversations about doing hard things took an unexpected turn when we highlighted that in order to push through the I don't want tos, we have to be clear and continue to remember why we're doing all of this. And I mean all of it. The coaching sessions, the record keeping, the shakes, the entrees, the lean proteins, the whole grains, lots and lots of fruits and vegetables, all the tasty foods that we're choosing to not eat, all of it. Because as Bill says, you have to be armed with your why in this work. We can't forget the reasons that we have for practicing a healthy lifestyle. So here are a few quotes on this. And I'll just say, we should really say this, we really do try to get your quotes exactly right. But as Bill and I are listening, and then we're talking, and then we're also trying to write, please forgive us if we don't get the exact wording right. Kind of makes me think of the game telephone from the old days. I know many of us remember this. You're sitting in a circle, and the first person whispers to the person next to them something like, I saw a cat wearing sunglasses in the park. And by the end, after everyone's heard it from someone else, you've got a rat doing a dance in the dark or some version of that. Well, I can promise you, we will never be that off base. And we will absolutely nail the gist of what you share every time, but it may not be exactly verbatim. All right, so having said that, some quotes from class. Mary S., who's just done some extraordinary work in the program for a long time now. Here's her quote. Before this work, I was just existing. Now I'm living. I'm off blood pressure medications, I'm off cholesterol medications, and I no longer deal with sleep apnea. Talk about having multiple whys for pushing through the discomfort of making the harder choice in the moment. Here's one of Rita's whys. I don't want to go backwards. That's why we all do hard things. And I think everyone may have that as one of their whys as well. In fact, I do remember many weeks ago at this point, Jennifer M., when sharing her big why, she actually had a hard time finishing her sentence. And it was the same sentiment that Rita just shared. It was quite a moment in the class, as I remember, when she said very simply, why do I do this? Because I don't want to go back. I just don't want to go back. And again, I think we can all relate to our version of what she's referring to. And then we have Will on this. This is why we do hard things. It's all connected. It's our physical health and our mental health. It's all connected. And it truly is. It's all connected. Okay, so for these reasons, we do hard things. We tolerate some real discomfort at times for the payoff that comes from making consistent, healthy choices. All right, so we've still got some of the week ahead of us, all of us. So what do you think I'm going to say about that as we begin to wrap up this recap? Keep choosing to do some tough things. Choose to make some difficult choices for your weight and for your health. Tolerate it. And when you do this from time to time, you're actually practicing toleration. And that's a real word, toleration. And here's the punchline. Are you ready? When you practice something, anything, you actually get better at it. That's what practice and repetition do, including tolerating the I don't want tos and making the next healthy choice anyway. So there's our opportunity for the rest of this week, practicing toleration. At times, pick your spots. You don't have to be in the stretch zone the entire week, but pick your spots with the intent of getting better at it, at tolerating the discomfort and pushing through. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Oh, and Dave, I'm sorry we couldn't make this recap shorter for you this week. We'll try again next time.